have not been, as I said, I've not been too successful in managing money, but I made a lot of mistakes all along my life. And this is one reason why I've had a good insight about what are the different options that people use to make money. To give you my life, my parents both have been commerce backgrounds. So my mom used to work in the postal services, in the saving banks sections, and my dad used to be working with Indian Overseas Bank. So initially in my life, I have been exposed to money. I've seen money. I've been understanding how things work. But traditionally, my parents have always been very less risk takers, or they would want secure investments. And this is not just my story. I'm sure this is everybody's story. This is everybody in India. Okay. So not many of us would have been risk takers as we are today. Now, this could be because they've come up the hard way. They have seen the struggles of life. We have not seen actually even half of what they have seen in their lives. And having said this, one way going ahead is understanding how we take risks with money. And this is what fascinated me into understanding what exactly is money. So let me start with the first quote that I say from Warren Buffett. It says, opportunities come infrequently. When it rains gold, put out the bucket and not the spoon. Now, why is this important? Is understanding which is an opportunity and understanding which is not an opportunity. So you need to always test the market. So when I took the plunge in entrepreneurship and started my own venture, I did not know anything of the business, right? So, and I was not from a business family that I had some background. I knew what exactly to play with and stuff. But as I went along the line, I realized, I found out, I understood what kind of opportunities were there in the market and which opportunities could I tap at the earliest, and how exactly I could make the best returns of it. Okay. So as I said, this quote I will repeat often during my presentation. So let's remember this quote: opportunities come infrequently. When it rains gold, put out the bucket and not the spoon. Okay. So I've divided my entire session today with 6 main topics. The first is the mindset. The second is the game. Third is the plan. The fourth is the options. The fifth is the guide. And the last is the end. Now, all of these have slides behind them. So the end is not the end slide that says thank you and stuff like that. Okay. So what I've been doing is basically understanding how we can speak of the mindset. If you don't have the right mindset, you will never be able to save money. Okay, we are not talking about becoming rich. We are not talking about owning a Rolls Royce tomorrow, but we are talking about surviving. We're talking about living, and we are talking about enjoying life as it comes to us. Okay, so understanding the mindset behind money, understanding the game of money. Okay, why am I calling it a game? Is because as we have football fans in the house, let's say you are playing a football match. Okay, you're playing a football match, and if you don't define the rules, okay, you would have chaos on the ground, right? It's a contact sport. Tomorrow you would have people coming and kicking you on the face beside the ball, right? So you would have all chaos on the ground, and then you would have fights, you would have a lot of other stuff. So understanding the game, the rules of the game is very important before you start the game, right? And that's why I said this whole understanding of money is a game. You have to understand the rules of the game, and only then you start playing with the game. Okay, so the mindset is important, the game is important, and then you plan. You have to have a plan of how you will like in football, you have the offense, you have the defense, you have time wasting tactic, you have the offside tactic, you have the offside trap tactic, right? You have different tactics that you use on the ground. And this is important because there are certain times of your life that you need to play aggressive, and there are certain times of your life that you need to play defensive. Okay, and if you don't understand that offense and that defense, you would have gone for a toss. Okay, then finally I will be talking about the different options that we say in the money markets, like the stocks, the mutual funds, and this is important because I've realized over the years of my academic career, I've been teaching in Don Bosco's Panjim for the last, I think so this is my 4th year, And I've seen a lot of people coming in, talking in, but most of them are coming. Somebody would come in, speak just about insurances. Somebody would come in, speak just about mutual funds. Somebody would come in, speak just about stocks. Okay. And I've realized that most of them are backed by certain companies. And that's what I'm not being very comfortable with. I feel that if you want to enter into the money markets, you need to understand the entire level playing field. And once you understand the market, you choose what you want to do, right? So it is your option, it is your choice, and I would not be pitching for any one of them. Okay, you have to go and research it out on your own, and then you take it up from there on. Okay. Finally, I have a few formulas that I've read through into my life, and I think it's important that I share it with all of you. And with that, we will come to an end with a little idea about how exactly to go ahead from here. Okay, so I'm going ahead with my presentation. The time is 11:50, and I think I should be done by 12:30, 12:45, maximum 1 o'clock. Okay, so please forgive me if I take a little extra time from there on. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat. I am looking at the chat constantly. I'm changing my slides also automatically. Okay. So the mindset, what exactly am I talking about? The mindset is basically understanding your life goals, not my life goals, not Father Alin's life goals, not Father Jason's life goals, or not Don Bosco's life goals. I want you to set your own life goals. Okay. For this, we need to understand that there are four types of people. Okay. You can put this in your perspective, your parents' perspective, in anybody's life cases. You will realize that there are four types of people when we talk about money. And what is this four types of people? The first is there are hard workers. Okay, who are these hard workers? They will work hard, they will make a lot of money, they will invest that money, they will earn interest from that money, and they will retire happily. Now, what happens in these kind of people is you have a lifespan of say 80 years. I'm sure most of you must be agreeing that you have 80 years to live. Okay, not too many of us can guarantee that we'll cross 100, right? Or not too many of us might guarantee that might cross 60. I'm not saying it is good, it is bad, whatever it is. It's the fact. You have 80 years on a lifespan at this current time. You live, you study for about 20, 25 years. You work very hard till about 60, 65 years. And then you have money and retire well with that money at the age of around 70, 65, 70. You get about 10 years to live your life. And at that point in time, I'm sure none of you would just enjoy life to its fullest, right? You need to live life in between. And that's where comes the second category. Okay. There are guys who work hard, party hard. Okay. There are guys who maybe not even working and they're still partying hard. These are the type of guys usually who have money in their banks. These are the kind of guys who've inherited a lot of money, and if they don't manage it well, okay, if they're just partying, and they're not really enjoying, or sorry, not enjoying, they will enjoy it lots, but if they're not really conscious about what they are doing, they will go bankrupt after a short period of time. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of these celebrities, a lot of these sports people, they get access to money in a jiffy with a commercial deal they've signed. They've got $1 million. And you have people like Boris Becker, you have people like many Tiger Woods. Okay, all these guys, they made a lot of money. At the same time, they become bankrupt in this lifetime itself. It's not that they've made so much of money and yet they don't have money for the future generations, right? So you have the inheritors who can squander off the money. You have a lot of philosophers also. Okay, you might put me in the category of a philosopher. I might say sometimes money is not important. You need to have the knowledge that you have to gain and blah 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 and stuff like that. You have a lot of these guys who will tell you to do a lot of stuff. You have to retire safe. You have to keep money for your generations and everything else. Okay. Okay. Is anybody else having an issue with the voice, or is it Apsi? Apsi, right? Anybody else having an issue with the voice? Okay, so I think you just need to check the internet on your end, Absi, and maybe we can go ahead from there. Okay, and finally you have the final people who are strategizers. Okay, these people work smart. Okay, I'm not telling you work 9 to 9. Don't work 12 hours in a day and then tire yourself and go into other kinds of issues. Okay, work smart, plan better. Okay, and maybe you can even retire early. So I'll give you the formulas. I have the formulas in place which show that this is possible. It's not that it's not possible, it is possible, but it might not be realistic, and I'll tell you why and exactly how exactly we go ahead with it. Okay, so that's the idea. When I say the mindset, I need you to make a plan for what are your particular financial goals. Okay, and when I say financial goals, you need to understand what exactly you need to do in your life, right? So financial goals are something like you want to buy a house. Okay, maybe you're staying in a 2 bhk, you want to move to a 3 bhk. Down the line you might be married, you might have kids. Okay, marriage is a cost today. uh, Having a simple marriage itself would set you back by about 5 to 10 lakhs. Okay, it's a simple marriage I'm talking about, not even a jazzy marriage. A simple marriage would set you back about 5 to 10 lakhs easy. Okay, children's education is coming, and it's very expensive in the industry, and you need to plan for that. You need to plan for your retirement. When do you want to retire? You might want to retire at 50, you might want to retire at 60. Let me tell you, today in any kind of a job, including government jobs, you don't have any kind of pension. Okay, so you need to plan for retirement very well. Okay, so at one point in time, everybody would make a beeline for government jobs because there was very good pension. There are lots of other facilities of government jobs, but pension is not one of them. Okay, so you need to plan for your retirement very well. You need to plan for your taxations, because taxes kill you also. Okay, so even if you're making a huge lot of money, 30% can go for taxes if you're in the highest bracket. So so you need to plan that better, right? Okay, then at one point in time you need to have financial independence. Okay, you can be secured of your life and still enjoy uh, the money that you have in hand. Okay, so for this you need to understand how much money you need to make, how much money you need to save, how do you make that money. Okay, how to make that money, and where do you want to go with that money. So I'll put a simple question to most of you, and maybe you can put it in the chat and answer it to me. Okay, the question is, why do we work? Why exactly do we work? And if you could put in the chat, you could give me a one-line answer maybe, or somebody could unmute yourself and just tell me, why do you work? Why do we work in life? Anyone could you could unmute your mic and need the money, okay, to survive, okay, for the freedom of living. Wow, that's nice. All right, so let me give you a perspective. Okay, a lot of us work for the money. Okay, my understanding is if you don't enjoy your work, you will not. Yeah, so you need to have some kind of passion. You need to have an interest in the job that you're doing, and that's one of the reasons why you would enjoy your work and live a life, right? You might make money on the way, but enjoy what you do. So that's kind of the philosophical guy I'm talking about. Okay, you can grow in your career only if you're doing a good job in your work, right? And when you make that money, you can then spend, you can enjoy and do passionate things of your life also. So I'm putting this question out very clearly, understanding that I'm talking to a lot of guys of you, or a lot of you who might be going into jobs in the near future. They might not be having current jobs or not be making too much of money right now, but in the future you will be going into jobs, right? So understand, why do you want to work. Okay, a lot of people I know, I've seen a lot of these guys. I've been um, into different communities and stuff, and I've seen people called digital nomads. Okay, this is a new fad that has come. People are traveling the world and they're working from different corners of the world. I have a friend who is working in Thailand right now. She's from Germany. There's another friend who's working in Dubai, and she's just traveling in Dubai. Okay, so she's planning and doing stuff over there in Dubai, and basically she's a digital marketer and stuff like that. But it's okay, we understand. But at the end of the day, you need to understand that why exactly are you working. You're just working to travel the world, or you want to have a family and you want to plan a lot of other stuff, and how do you want to plan. So your life, your financial goals are very important to your financial planning. Okay, so you only have to do a few things right in your life. Okay, so long as you don't do too many things right or wrong. Okay, why do I say this is because there are certain opportunities. As I said, the first quote, you have a lot of opportunities that come. If you put the bucket right, okay, you will collect a lot. If you go with a spoon in that opportunities rain, okay, you will get only a spoonful of rain, right? So you need to make your plans right, and whenever opportunities come, you know that it is on the drive of what you want to do in life, you take up the opportunity. Yeah. So with this, I've cleared out the mindset. I told you why do you want to work. Okay, you need to understand your goals. You need to understand what are your goals. What is financial goals? How exactly do you want to see your life? Maybe in the next 10 years, the next 20 years, the next 30 years. How do you want to see your life? And maybe at what stage of life do you want to get into different kinds of activities? You might be a passionate photographer, right? At this point in time, if you start photography, you might not be able to make a lot of money, but you can do it as a side passion, you can do it as side income, a side hustle, and with that you will be able to earn little and do a full-time job. And once you are settled, you know where you stand, you can go into a full-time photography career. Okay, things like that. You need to plan yourself, you need to plan your own financial goals. Okay, so with that we come to the next part called the games. Okay, I gave you the example of football, right? I gave you the example of any game for that matter. If you don't have, we have a lot of gully cricketers, right? If the bat is mine, the first batting is mine, right? So that's how the rules are. If you don't set the rules right from the start, okay, you can't change them in the middle of the game. Okay, just because you're caught one tappa out, you cannot say that you're out, or so you're not out, because the ball is yours. Okay, you cannot change the game rules in between. You need to have the games, so you need to have the rules of the game very clear before you start the game. Okay, and for that reason, I'm making myself very clear. I'm not a financial consultant. I'm not a financial consultant. I'm not advising you to go for any kind of a particular fund, any kind of a particular stock, any kind of particular avenue. I'm only playing a game. Okay, and if you win a lot. If you lose a lot. Okay, but the game is fair. It is not that I'm cheating, somebody else is cheating, or the fund is cheating. Okay, and the game is based on current information on hand. Why am I saying this sentence is because you need to also understand all the dynamics of the game. There are players like the government. Okay, it's not a gamble, it's not a gamble, it's not at all a gamble, Cecilia. Okay, why am I saying this is there is a government. Like today, if the taxation rate is 10%, okay, and you've made this plan thinking that 10% is the taxation rate, you need to have leeway to playing up and down. Tomorrow the taxation rate might go to 20%. You never know. Many people have gone into the taxi business. Many people have gone into the transport business considering that 60 rupees was the petrol price. Today, petrol price is at 100 rupees. Okay. And still they have to survive with the same plan they made, with the EMI that they will collect, with the money that they will make from this particular trip. The rate of the trips has not gone up. On top of that, because of Goa miles maybe, or because of Ola, Uber playing pressure, not just in Goa, maybe even Mumbai, Pune, people had to cut their rates, right? So it's not a gamble, it is a calculated decision, and that is what we are coming to the next part. Okay, so why do you need to know the game first before playing the game? First of all, we are living, or we are working for three things. I asked you a question, why do we work? First, we are working for financial security. We want money. We want to know that tomorrow I fall sick, I go to the hospital, I have money to survive. Okay, it's not that tomorrow people will leave me on the roads. I have that financial security. I'm living for financial freedom. Tomorrow I want to say that without doing any work, or tomorrow I lose my job for 2 months, 3 months, I don't have a job, I have to search for a new job. I have that financial freedom to stay free and stay stress free and work towards getting my good job. Not that I lose my job today, oh shit, I don't have money today, I have to go and work maybe as a chaprasi or as a security guard or somewhere else. Okay, it is not something like that. I want to have that financial security, I want to have that financial freedom, okay, to make my own decisions in life. And that is what I call ultimate living. I don't say ultimate living is going to Dubai and jumping from Burj Khalifa, maybe with a bungee jumpy and stuff like that. That is not the ultimate living. The ultimate living is you should have peace of mind, you should have freedom to choose your decisions in life. I know of a lot of families who have gone to villages. They have made a lot of money in the metros in Mumbai, in Bangalore, in Delhi. They've made a lot of money and they've left all of that life, gone and stayed in villages, living a simple life, a very, very simple life. Maybe they love that sereneness, they love that nature, they love that connect with the nature and living a very, very simple life. They are actually very rich. It's not that they are poor. Okay, I know a lot of guys from very poor, not poor backgrounds, you could say, but very remote villages. They've gone to cities, they've made a life, they've made good money, and they've come back to the village. Okay, because they love their village, they love their connect, and that is what I'm talking about: financial security, financial freedom, and ultimate living. You need to have to the money to make your own decisions. Okay, you're not uh, 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 um, you're not tied to the system, or you're not tied to that routine where you cannot make your decision because you have to your hand to mouth. Okay, so that is what you need to have your right goals. Okay, so when we talk about financial security, okay, we need to understand there are two parts. Why am I saying there are two parts? Is because you need to understand there is savings and there is investing. Okay, investing is not the same as savings. Okay, what is saving is basically saving your money for emergencies. So the usual general thumb rule is basically if you have 3 to 4 months of your salary saved out, or maybe 1 year of your salary saved up. So if your salary is 10,000, you have about 1.2 lakhs in the bank, which you can access at any point in time. You are having the right amount of savings. Okay. And the next part is once you have your saving, then you put your money into investing. That's why I said it's not a gamble. It is something that you've planned. Okay, you have to be investing in the process of buying assets. Now what are assets is things that will appreciate. Okay, buying a car is not an asset. Buying a bike is not an asset, because these things depreciate. The money, the value after a certain time would depreciate until you're buying an antique maybe. Okay, but then you're not going to drive that antique around. So you need to understand where you're investing. You might be investing in maybe shares. Those shares will appreciate over a period of time, so you will get certain money from this. If the share goes down, you're depreciating, so they are not an asset at that point. So understanding which assets are you buying, expectations of making money from it. Okay, you can categorize them as growth based assets, or you can income based assets, or term based assets. There are three things why I've put this is growth based means you want to see that this money grows at a fast rate. Okay, there are equity markets, or even assets like a piece of land, a piece of um, real estate, what do you call that, a flat or a shop, uh, things like that. Okay, they are growth based. Then you have income based, the same asset which we talked about, a house, a piece of land, a shop, can be income based, where you're getting rental income every month. Okay, so you're making a substitute income, a side hustle, you can call it. Okay, so that's the income based. And finally is the term based. Term based investments are your fixed term investments, like the debt mutual funds, or your fixed deposits in the bank, NSE in postal services, or certain kinds of investments where you're going to know that at certain point in time you'll get certain amount of interest rates. They are fixed. You don't have to worry about you will lose the money or not. Okay, so these are your different categories that you need to understand and put the money in place. The next thing you need to understand is inflation. As I said, at one point in time, I remember my mess days. I used to eat lunch for 20 rupees a thali. Today the same thali is about 100 rupees, right? So, and this is not very it's not like 20, 30 years back. It is 10 years back. Okay, I'm saying that 10 years back, what was 20 rupees today is 100 rupees. Okay, the same 100 rupees would give you one full tank of petrol. Maybe 5 years back, the same 100 rupees will not even give you half tank of petrol today, right? So understanding inflation is basically the decline of purchasing power of a given currency. So 100 rupees today could buy you this. 100 rupees 10 years later will buy you half of that. Okay, understanding that the purchasing power of your currency is decreasing. Inflation is not very reliable for any economy. Okay, it all depends on the RBI and the government. They are the people who can control inflation and who can stop inflation. Now, when we say control inflation and stop inflation, understanding that inflation is not bad is also important. Now, why is inflation not bad? Okay, we are saying that your value of 100 rupees, I would get petrol, a full tank of petrol, right? With 100 rupees. The same full tank of petrol you will not get with 100 rupees today. And why is it not bad is because of simple things like the same concept applies to your assets also. If I have a flat, okay, I have a flat which costs around say 10 lakhs. Let's be optimistic. It costs about 10 lakhs. Now, when a flat costs 10 lakhs, I bought it at a time when 100 rupees could get me one bread. Just let's keep a condition. Okay, 100 rupees get me one bread. 5 years down the line, that same bread costs 500 rupees. When this asset cost goes up, I had bought a flat for 10 lakhs. 5 years down the line, the same concept will apply to your asset, which means the same flat will give you 50 lakhs. You've grown 40 lakhs in 5 years. So this is the kind of inflation, what inflation does to you. Okay, we only see the cost of things going up. At the same time, we also need to understand if we had invested into assets, the cost of asset also will go up. Okay, that's why inflation is not bad, but a steady growth of inflation is always good for the economy. Okay, so you'll have understood this, the goals you'll have understood, the rules of the game you'll have understood. And any questions, any doubts, drop it in the chat. I will answer it straight away. Okay, so this is about understanding financial security. The next part is financial freedom. Yes, housing prices go up and down based on inflation. It's all about the value of money. Okay, so it's all about relativity to inflation. Clear? So I'll get to the details when I'm explaining the asset of real estate. Okay, so don't worry about that. Financial freedom is about having enough of money, and you don't have too much of dependency on a job or a business, and also having passive income sources. Okay, so sources of income that are besides your jobs. Okay, which would maybe rental income, maybe some kind of business that you had invested in and you're getting royalties. People write books, they get royalties all around their life. Okay, and this passive income allows you to live a life of your choice. Okay, so that is all about financial freedom. Now, I've given you all the talk, I've given you all the different things. I'll give you numbers now. Okay, the plan. So what is the plan? And let's talk numbers. What are the main financial expenses that you have? Effects with change in ownership of an asset. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is, if you buy a plot of land for 10 lakhs, okay, and you want to sell that land after 5 years, one of the factors that will impact the rate of that land would be inflation. Okay, so at you had bought it at a time when 10 lakhs was the value of that land. Because of inflation, that value would actually grow up to maybe 20 lakhs or 30 lakhs. Okay, it can be anything. So even with change of ownership of that asset, you're selling it at that point, that particular rate, right? You're selling it at from 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs or 30 lakhs. Yeah, so that is how the growth in the value of the asset is going up. Okay, Ralin, have I answered your question? I hope I've answered your question. Okay, I'll continue with the slides. If you've not understood, maybe you can put the question in a different way, maybe. So understanding your financial expenses, you have houses to take care of, maintenance of houses, pets, you have daily usage, travel costs, cost of education, cost of buying gifts, bills, yes. Okay, maybe you have to pay some kinds of institutions to run maybe your phone bills, stuff like that. Okay, so all these are your financial expenses, and it is important that you understand your financial expenses. Now, there was a quote I read that is, art is not in making the money. Making the money is very simple. You have different ways of making money, but the art is into keeping it. Okay, and that's one of the reasons I gave you examples of Tiger Woods. I gave you examples of Boris Becker. People made money. They made a lot and tons of money, but they could not keep that money because they made bad investment choices. Okay, At one point in time, the big B of India, Amitabh Bachchan, was bankrupt. Okay, it is just through his goodwill that he had earned over the film industry that he was able to overcome this bankruptcy, and today has become successful again. If you don't believe me, go and Google it. Amitabh Bachchan was bankrupt at one point in time, and it's all because of wrong choices of investments and decisions that he made. Okay, so here's a concept that was there, and it's not my concept, it's something that is already there in the market called FIRE, financial independence to retire early. Now, to retire early, and why do they give the numbers, is because it is not something that people cannot think of. Okay, many people say that, Ari, how can you retire at the age of 40? You cannot retire at the age of 40. So people say that if you have to retire at the age of 40, you need to have 1 crore, 2 crores, 3 crores. Okay, I ask this when I'm having offline session. I would usually ask this question as to how much money do you require to retire. Okay, if I tell you, you go and live your life, I'll give you the money. You tell me how much money you require to retire. And many people come up with very, very weird numbers. Okay, they tell me 1 crore. I say, okay, 1 crore. Then if you do this, then they say, no, 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 no. 1 crore, if you say, then maybe cost of petrol will go up, cost of the house will go up. Give me 5 crores. So they don't have a specific number that you can have in mind, right? So here's the math to it. On an average, a family can survive with 25,000 as expenses. Okay, on an average. I'm not saying, some people might have bade shock, and so they might have like 50,000 expenses. So some people might not have something great that they need to spend on. 5,000 is good enough. Pays the electricity bills, pays the water bills, pays the food bills. That's good enough. So it depends on your requirement as a family. Okay, so on an average, 25,000 is a good decent in even in Goa to survive very lavishly. Okay, that means we need to spend 3 lakhs a year. 12 months, 25,000, 3 lakhs. Okay, so we have to have the capacity to spend 3 lakhs a year. Now, the formula here is that this is a formula that is there by an economist from America. And he says that basically 4% is a normal income that you get from investments all around the world. It's the normal rate. 4%, yes, in India, it is also your saving bank account gives you around 3 to 4%. Okay, today it is lesser, it's maybe 3%. But average, if you have FD and stuff like that, you will be able to make about 4% in a year. This is the general perception of it. So basically, if you want to make 4%, that is 3 lakhs. Okay, you need to have a corpus of 75 lakhs. You have 75 lakhs, 4% of 75 lakhs is equal to 3 lakhs, means you will be able to live the life easily. So if you have 75 lakhs, you can live Sushagat. Okay, as we call it in Goa. Okay, but this was a simple calculation. Putting this in India's perspective, this is good in maybe Europe and stuff like that, where they have very, very limited aspects of growth. India is a growing economy. Remember this, okay? And this is one of the advantages of being in India. Rate of average inflation is about 6 to 7%, 6 to 8%. 8% is maximum, okay, year on year. So if you want to spend 3 lakhs this year, you should have not just 3 lakhs, you should have 75 lakhs plus 3 lakhs, which is equal to around 78 lakhs a year. Okay, so as I said, this is the Indian Jugaad Masala. Due to inflation, our growth also, because inflation is 6 to 8%, our growth is roughly around 13 to 15%. Okay, when I say 13 to 15%, I mean that basically we will get returns of around 13 to 15% if we go with the best funds, okay, like mutual funds and all. Most of them, I've seen over the last 1 year, there are funds that have even given 105% returns. Okay, 13% is like bacha rates, but 105% returns also mutual funds have given. I have seen shares that have grown 300% also. To give you a simple example, if you don't believe me, go and check a share called Reliance Infrastructure. Okay, they have grown 800% in the last 1 year. 800%. Okay, this is a share, but it's a gamble over there. That's why I said you need to be playing smart. You need to understand the games and what are the factors on which the shares grow. Don't put all your eggs in the same basket. Okay, maybe we would have that quote in the later stage. But understanding inflation, understanding the growth economy, the target, okay, for you is to save 50% of your salary. Okay, now that I gave you the number 75 lakhs. If you had 3 lakhs a year, you would have 25,000. Okay, this is all okay, but it is not so simple to have 75 lakhs. First of all, to make 75 lakhs, you have to have a struggle life and stuff like that. Okay, so the formula that we have worked out is roughly around 50% of your salary you save. You are earning 10,000, save 5,000. You're earning 20,000, save 10,000. You're earning 40,000, save 20,000. You're earning 80,000, save 40,000. Okay, this is the idea that we have given. 50% of salary for 10 years. The target is to secure funds for emergencies and contingencies. Now, when I'm saying save 50%, you need to see that first your savings are covered, then you think about investing. What I said is savings is you having at least 3 months to 4 months of your salary saved in the saving account. Okay, 3 months to 4 months of salary saved. Now, if you're earning a salary of 10,000, see that you have 40,000 saved in the bank. If you're earning a salary of 20,000, see that you have 80,000 saved in the bank. If you're earning a salary of 40,000, see that you have about 2,40,000 in the bank. Okay, somewhere safe. Okay, safe. That is completely, if you have some emergency, you can break that FD and you can start using that money for whatever things. Okay, so that is secure funds. And then this formula basically says that maybe the next 15, after the end of 10-15 years, you will be able to live a financially free life. Now, how is that possible? Is here. Simple calculation. This is a sheet. If you all want an Excel sheet to be shared with you, I can share that also with you. I have done the math on the Excel sheet and I've seen that this works. Now, this is all philosophical. It is all hypothetical. Okay, so let's not be very stubborn towards the numbers of it. Okay, but this is the idea. This is the general perception of it. You save 3 lakhs the first year, saving 50%. Okay, so considering that you are spending 25,000 a month for your family is also making around 50,000 a month. Okay, this is the general perception of it. If you can spend 25,000, you can also save 25,000. That is the idea of it. So you deposit this 3 lakhs in the bank. On that, because rate of interest, as I said, if not the bank, it might be mutual funds, it might be stock markets, it might be gold, it might be somewhere where you can create returns higher than 12%. That is the basic goal. You should see that you're getting returns higher than 12%. So you would get roughly around 36,000. You have 3,36,000 at the end of first year. Similarly, the next year, I've said save 3,24,000. Now, why have I said save like 3,24,000? Power of parity. Your growth would also be dependent on inflation, right? So if today you're earning 5,000, you must have seen your parents. If you speak to your parents, I'm sure they will tell you that their salary was not the same 5 years back. Their salary was not the same last year. Okay, the people get increments every year. People get bonus every year. People make a living. They improve their standards of living. How? They have side hustles. They have money that they make from different types of businesses. Things like that. You have to improve yourself, and that is one of the reasons why you have to beat the inflation. If your inflation is 8%, beat it. Okay, so you should be able to save 3,24,000 by the end of second year. Okay, same money that you put back again into the bank or in the assets that you're buying or investments you're doing, you will have roughly around 79,200 as the gains, the profits. Okay, the 12% rate of interest that we were talking about. If you see this rate, by the end of 10 years, you will have a corpus of around 83,51,098 rupees. Okay, let's not get with the numbers. This is all hypothetical. You will understand why. Now, with that 83 lakhs, you can actually retire. Honestly, you can actually retire. Okay. Only formula is you should be seeing that you're putting this 83 lakhs into things that will give you above 12% rate of interest, considering 8% inflation. Okay, considering 8% inflation, you are putting this into things that are above 12% rate of interest, and you will be able to retire at the end of 10 years according to that chart. Maybe it might take 15 years for you to reach that number. Okay, now why am I saying that you can retire is if you've invested 83,51,098 rupees, you will get a gain of roughly around 10,02,132 rupees for that particular year, considering 12% and above. And you will withdraw 6 lakhs. Why did I say 6 lakhs? If you see your cost over here, your saving over here, which was 3 lakhs initially, is become 6 lakhs because inflation. The same concept that I've told you, 8% it growing every year. So at that point in time, you will require 6 lakhs. Where your expenditures were 3 lakhs, you will also require 6 lakhs. Okay. So that is how you will withdraw 6 lakhs. So, sorry, I'm on the other slide. Okay. So you will withdraw 6 lakhs. Similarly, at one point in time, you will be withdrawing 17 lakhs 62,316, and you will be left with a balance of 1 crore 11 lakhs 89,332. These are all hypothetical numbers, which tell you that actually you can do it. Okay, it's not that it is rocket science. It is not simple. It is not very difficult. Okay, but there are certain assumptions in this whole chart that I have put over there. This is just to give you a rosy picture of what is possible. We all live life on a daily basis in practical ways. I know it's not very simple to say that, "Arey, chalo yaar, we'll save 50% of our salary." There are certain days when I want to buy a new mobile phone and I cannot save even 10% of my salary. Okay, so I know that there are days. So, but let's keep a rosy picture in mind and go ahead with that. I'm at 12:24. I'll take another 15 to 20 minutes, maybe, if I can run fast. Okay, so market gains are averaging 13% and higher. I've kept it 12% at the calculation, but averagely you should be getting higher than that. Inflation is 8% or lower, so that the rates of interest also are not going too low. Family strength, family spending is roughly around 25,000 a month. Now, why do I put this point very clearly? Is because, see, when we talk about retiring, I'm not telling you go to Dubai, you go to Singapore, and you go to the Europe and go for family holidays and stuff like that. Okay, if you're going to be doing that, you're going to be spending more. So you need to be calculating all of that also in place. I'm saying, when I say financial freedom, you are living the same life that you're living currently, only doing the same things that you do. A normal family, or you see your own family, over the years, you've not done something rapid changes. Okay, it's not like you were eating rice and curry 10 years back and today you're eating sushi every day. Okay, it is that you're going to be doing the same stuff that you're doing every day, right? So using market funds, using other stuff for gainful investment is very important. Okay, and understanding that also there are risks of capital erosion. What is the risk of capital erosion? There are certain shares, like if you invest in shares, there are certain shares that also can erode your wealth. Like, for example, I had invested in a share called IOB. Why? My father was working in IOB. He told me always that IOB is a very good bank. It's a very secure bank, very, very nice. I invested at the rate of around 140 rupees per share. After about 3-4 months, I realized that IOB had given lots of loans to Vijay Mallya. Vijay Mallya fled the country, and also IOB shares crashed. I'm sitting on IOB shares currently at around 15 rupees per share. Luckily, the government, why is it 15 rupees per share? Because after that crash, I realized that, okay, I have to pump in more money over there so that I can average out our price. Okay, you can study this share market terms and all, maybe in some other session, but averaging a price basically means that I'm buying shares at a lower price so that the average price comes down. Okay, and that's how I reached the price of around 20 rupees currently. And this 20 rupees is possible, and I'm making profits today after around 5 years. Why? Because government has decided to privatize IOB, and that's why the IOB shares have started to grow suddenly. Okay, so you have to be ready for this kind of impacts. Okay, like I had put in certain amount of money at the rate of 140 rupees per share at 5 years back. I lost all of that money. I actually lost 140 rupees I put. I'm sitting on shares of at around 20 rupees a share. But since I've averaged it out, I've been playing the long game. Okay, that's the understanding of a long game. I'm not playing today I will put money, tomorrow I will be rich. No, it doesn't happen that way. It has to be a long game. And once I averaged out, I covered out all my risks. Today I'm sitting on a profit of around 7 rupees per share. Okay. So that's the understanding of averaging out components of risks, components of taxation. Okay. Now, what are the choices that we are talking about? Okay, the options. They come to the next part called the options. What exactly am I talking about? The first thing that we need to understand is the equity market, the share market. Here there are potentials of, as I said, Reliance Infrastructure grown 800% in 1 year. You can see growths of around 100, 200, 300%. Okay, but this is a risky proposition. If you don't know the stock market very well, don't put money there. Okay, this is very honest advice. Don't put too much of money. Usually Yeah, equity markets are basically the share markets, okay, the stock exchange. If you're buying a share, you will be able to buy a particular share. What is a share? Is basically a piece of ownership of a company. Say I'm having Reliance shares. You are technically you are the owner of Reliance. Okay, Mukesh Ambani is overall owner, but you are a part owner of Reliance. Why? Because you have one particular share of Reliance. You have a share of the company. Okay, now that share grows and comes down based on the share market. What is the share market? Is basically a lot of people are pumping in the same money in that particular company. If they have higher asset, the value of each share goes up, because the number of shares are stagnant. It's not like you will have every day they're generating more shares. They're not doing that. They have 1000 shares. From that, if you buy one share, 999 other people have bought the other shares. Okay, that's one of the reasons why Mukesh Ambani is the owner, is because he has about 50% of the shares that are there in the market. Okay, so more and more people buying in shares of that particular company increases the value of that share. Okay, the value of that share goes up, your money goes up. Okay, it's not a very complicated stuff as it sounds, but it is very simple to understand if you actually read a lot about this. Okay, but I'm here just to give options. I will elaborate maybe in subsequent sessions if you all want more detailed information about it, but I thought I'll give a generic view about understanding the different options. So the potential is very high in the share markets. The equity markets are very high. I have seen growth of like 100%, 200% over like 6 months, 8 months, 9 months. To give you my own example, I had bought a share in my engineering days at around 178 rupees. I think so. It was Blue Star share. I bought for 178. I think so. By the end of my engineering, and I started working as a software developer, and then I started my own company. And all at that point in time, I required some money. I decided to sell 100 shares that I had of Blue Star. 17,800 something I had invested in Blue Star. I got about 80,000 rupees back. Okay, that's about 324%, if I'm not mistaken. At that point in time, it was a big achievement for me that, boss, I made a good move at investing in Blue Star at that point in time. But over a period of around 3 to 5 years. So don't look at overnight incomes and overnight gains. Look at the long run. Okay, if you're looking at share market, please look at the long run and try to invest in stable companies. Okay, there are lots of shares that come in today and tomorrow they're out. Okay, you will have 100% growth today and tomorrow they are 0% growth. Okay, so don't fall into those traps. Invest into very stable companies. Reliance is one company. HDFC Bank is one company. You must have heard of Yes Bank crashing some time back. Okay, but Yes Bank also again is a too big a bank to fail. That's one of the reasons why a lot of government had to step in, and SBI had to take over Yes Bank, stuff like that. Okay, when you invest in stable companies, it's too big a company to fail. Okay, so invest in very stable shares and you will see growth over a period of time. You will see growth. Okay, same goes with cryptocurrency. Okay, cryptocurrency I wouldn't be advising at any point in this presentation, because it's a very unstable market at this point in time. I'll tell you why. Because it is not legalized in India. To be honest enough, it's not legalized in India. You can trade in different exchanges that are available in India, and they are not banned. But the government of India has not really legally approved cryptocurrency. Okay, all these cryptocurrencies are being run from outside India. Okay, so I wouldn't honestly tell you to invest your money there. You can play around if you understand the crypto markets well. Okay, I myself, I'm into a lot of crypto groups and stuff like that, but I've not invested a single penny in that till I don't get a little clarity. As I said, I'm not a person who actually would go and gamble, but I would do calculated risks. Okay, so if I'm having say 50,000, which I want to just see where I get the best returns, I might just put that 50,000 into crypto. Okay, because I've seen Bitcoins have grown like really, 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 really high, but then the risk of losing it also is very, very high. So maybe we can have some kind of a crypto session in the future, but I myself don't regularly advise you to go for crypto. ICICI Bank, yes. HDFC Bank also. SBI is also a very good stock to invest in. I've seen growth of around 200% in my own portfolio. So things like that. There are many shares. I wouldn't advise you to go for one particular share. Look at the top. You go to any share market, say the Nifty, Nifty is the NSE, not National Stock Exchange. You have top 100, top 50 shares. Okay, once you see this top 50 shares, you can choose from the top 50 and start investing. Now, why do I say start investing? Is because it's very simple to start. Okay, today it is so simple. You have an app called Grow, you have an app called Zerodha, you have an app, I think these are the two top apps, or you can go to a simple stockbroker. I myself go to a physical stockbroker. It helps in managing better. And I go to these guys and I tell them that I have to, yeah, Upstock is another well-known app. Okay, so these are the different apps that are there where you can invest into share markets. All you require is a PAN card. Okay, if you are 18 years in age, you can have your own PAN card. That's how I got into the different markets. You need to have a demat account. If you're on these apps, they also create a demat account. You can go, like I do my stock brokering to a company called Anand Rathi. It's in Panjim only. If anybody is from Panjim, it's just next to Cafe Central. It's just over there. So I do it from him there. It's a big company all in India. I used to do it with Standard Chartered initially, but Standard Chartered closed their Goa branch. So now I moved to Anand Rathi. And it's all centralized now. So there's no risk of if a share broker closes down, it's not that your money is gone. The money is in the central accounts, which you have access to, and you can recover those money anytime. Okay. So this is the share market. PAN card, demat account, it is a high risk. Okay, you need to understand, you need to study the markets very well. So don't just invest. I would advise you, I do this. If I want to play with a particular stock, I buy it on Money Control. Money Control is an app where you can have all these stocks and you can check your portfolio daily. I buy it over there. Buy it in the sense you just have to add it to your portfolio. I don't pay a single rupee over there, right? So it's free. So I put it over there. Then I study it for around 1 month, 2 months. I see whether I would have made a good decision or not a good decision, and basically based on that, I go and invest into that share. Or I study it over 1 month, and then I see whether is it a stable share? Is it growing? How exactly is this background? There are forums on online. You can go and see the views in different forums, and then based on that, you can make your decision. The next thing is mutual funds. Okay, now just how you are taking the decision of shares, there are particular fund managers. Okay, there are particular fund managers who manage these particular funds, and these funds are huge. Okay, so they are like 1 crore people have invested in one particular fund, and they have around, say, each of them has invested about 10,000 rupees. So they have 10,000 crores. Okay, in that fund, which they are managing on a daily basis. So as they are managing 10,000 crores, there's no fool sitting over there. There's somebody who's very qualified and very professional who's sitting and understanding the shares. So each fund, okay, what is a fund is basically a collection of money under one name and investing in one particular area. So there can be a fund called an IT fund, okay, or Digital India Fund is there, okay, the Aditya Birla Digital India Fund is there. This particular fund looks at only the IT companies. Okay, they invest in companies like Wipro, they invest in companies like Infosys, Tata, TCL. Okay, all these other companies, only the TCS, sorry, only the companies that are in the IT sector. So there are funds that are IT funds, there are funds that are pharma funds, there are funds that are equity funds, the top 100 funds, meaning they invest only in the top 100 companies of the stock market. So these are pretty stable funds, and they give a stable income. Okay, like I have seen, I think so there's an ICICI Prudential one fund is there, which has given 100% growth in the last 1 year. Okay, and on an average, it gives around 30% growth over a 5-year period. So 30% year on year. Okay, so basically every year it is growing at 30%. So similarly, what I was talking about is 12% more, right? Here I'm telling you, you're getting even around 30% year on year in the last 5 years. Okay, and that's one of the reasons why I always advise you start early. Okay, why do I say start early? Again, in mutual funds, you can start with 500 rupees. You don't have to invest 5 lakhs. Okay, you can start with 500 rupees. I'm sure half of the people over here, we have around 45, 50 people over here. Half of you all might be spending 500 rupees on a daily basis having a coffee in CCD, right? Or forget CCD, even today going to Bosle's will set you back around 300, 400 rupees, right? So so you can see, I think Celia had a question. Celia, you can ask a question. No problem. So Sally, you can drop the question in chat maybe if you have any questions. Okay. So spending 500, 200 rupees is a normal thing for us today, but we can start off easily in the share markets. I mean, in the mutual fund industry for simple reasons. The second thing that is important in understanding a mutual fund industry is there are lump sum funds. I mean, you can invest lump sum or you can invest SIPs. SIP is basically systematic investment planning. It's nothing rocket science. It is perfect. You can start with 150. Agnello has just told us that on Grow app there are funds where you can start with 150 rupees. You don't have to plan 500, 800, 1000 rupees. Half of you must be getting pocket money of more than 150 per day, right? So things like that. You can start very small. You can start very easily. You require, if you're doing it offline. Offline, what I mean is basically you can easily go to a fund house. Okay, you can do it on apps. You can do it with the fund house. You can go to the fund house. You can open. All you require is a KYC document, that is Aadhaar card, PAN card. You require a cancelled check, a bank account check with your name printed on it. Okay, and one-time mandate, that is if you're putting an SIP. SIP means every month automatically money will go from your account. Okay, and that is very good. It goes automatically. It's always good. Okay, so one-time mandate is given to the bank fund so that the fund can remove money from your bank account. You have given it authorized that every month you can remove this particular amount of money. Now you can monitor it and stuff like that. But SIPs are very, very important. Why? Because in SIPs you can plan how much money you want to send out. Okay, and it goes automatically. You don't have to break your heads. I will get to the next part of it because I'm running short of time, but I will explain it why I'm saying SIPs are better. Okay, the next parts I'm not delved too much into this because these are normal things that everybody knows. Debt markets or debt mutual funds are something similar to fixed deposits in the bank, just that here they are into funds which invest in treasury bills or invest in corporate bonds, and they are same as the equity mutual funds, but it's just that here the rate of interest that you will get is very it's lower than the equity markets, but they are more stable. Like guaranteed you will get around 10-15% rate of interest from debt mutual funds. Okay, you might not get 40-50%, but where you get 40-50% at one point in time, you might not get even that. You might lose money in that. So things are there where if the stock markets is crashing, your mutual funds rates also will crash. Okay, about crypto, Sejal, I'll explain maybe at the end when we have question answers. Okay, so let's focus on what we have in hand, right? Okay, so usually debt mutual funds you plan for about 1 to 3 years or 3 to 5 years. Okay, if you're talking about retirement, there is a fund called NPS. Okay, National Pension Scheme. It gives you a decent amount of payout at the end of the year. I mean, at the end when you hit 60, or you can take a lump sum, or you can take annuity, that is every month you will get pension till their lifetime. Okay, so it's you invest till about 60 years and then you always get lifetime money till if you live to 150. That's one of the reasons why people invest in pension funds. Like today we might make a plan saying that at 80 you might die, but what if you live till 100? You have 20 more years to take care of yourself. Okay, so and that's one of the reasons why people invest in retirement funds or pension funds, because after 60 they take care of your life. Okay, that's one of the reasons why you plan retirement very well. Okay, so we can do that also later on. Public Provident Fund is PPF. That's one of the safest investments currently in India. It gives you a rate of interest, I think so about 8% now. Previously it was around 10%. But the only thing is, the only catch is once you start investing in that, you get tax benefits, but you cannot touch that money for 15 years. Okay, there are certain ways where you can get the money out of after some, I think so 5 years or 10 years, you can get some percent of the money. But it's better if you don't touch it for 15 years. You get huge returns and the power of compounding. So basically, if you put in 5 lakhs, next year if you get 50 lakhs or 50,000 as interest, you would be putting in 5,50,000 the next year. So basically it's the same power of compounding. Every time you're putting money, you're getting more on the interest plus the capital that you have put. Bank deposits, I think everybody knows about bank deposits. If you come here for a session on money, you know what is fixed deposits, you know the rate of interest that you get, and some of the bank deposits give you also fixed returns. Real estate is one part of it. Real estate, as I said, is buying a house, buying a flat or stuff like that. You you might not get very high returns, okay, if you've not invested it right. Like, why am I saying this is, I don't know if how many of you are from Goa, but those who are from Goa, and also outside people, okay, from Maharashtra or Karnataka who are joining it, you all must be knowing Goa, and you must be knowing Panjim, right? I think most of our Trasi students or Sirsi students have come to Don Bosco Panjim last time when we had rector major and all coming in. Okay, so um, Panjim is a city, and it is out of land at the moment. So if you see where the bus stand is, behind the bus stand, there's like open land, and some years back there was nothing over there. Literally nothing was there. There was just what do you call the mangroves, okay, which they have filled up and now they have made it land. Okay, now considering that I had a plot of land over there, okay, and when the city was full, now they have come up over there. There my land has gone. The rates are very high. The same time, if I have bought a plot of land, say in a remote village in Sankelim, okay, the appreciation of price will not be the same as what was behind the Panjim bus stand. Why am I saying this? The value of that land has gone up because the city has is overfilled, and they are coming into that and they're making that a city. So maybe I had bought a plot of land for 10 lakhs there, and I bought a huge land for 10 lakhs in Sankalim, right? The value of that plot in small plot in Panjim might become 1 crore today. The same plot might become 30 lakhs in Sankalim. Okay, so real estate is a game where you understand where you're buying, okay, which part of the place are you buying, and why is it important to buy in that particular part, because creation of asset classes is key to understanding how like currently the new fad is uh, yes, with development the area price goes up. So you would have to see water supply, you would have to see sewage supply, I mean sewage management, all different things. So as development, maybe a school has come up over there, maybe has something else has come up over there. Because of the development of the area that is coming up, the rate is going higher and higher. Okay, so real estate plays a lot on sentiments, plays a lot on even small things like proximity towards schools, proximity towards things like that. That is also a very big factor in which the value of real estate goes up. So real estate is a big game. If you have to study it, we'll have to talk another 1 or 2 hours about it. But this is an option. Real estate is an option. Rental is an option. Okay. Investing in bonds is it's better if you go through mutual funds, right? If you go through mutual funds, they are also investing in corporate bonds and debt funds. Okay, so they are basically debt mutual funds are investing in bonds. Okay, so real estate as a rental. Okay, we spoke about growth, we spoke about growth investments, we spoke about investments, and we spoke about term investments. Right now what I've explained to you is about growth investments, where mutual funds or shares and stuff like that. I've also spoken to you about term investment, that is fixed deposits and things like that. And finally we are coming to income investments. Real estate as a rental is a huge income investment. Like, there are lots of people in Goa, I know in Goa personally, because Goa is a tourism industry, I mean a tourism state, and a lot of people have Airbnb homes, or they host their homes with Oyos, they host their homes with Make My Trip Goa Ibibo. Okay, so they have made money through it. They are not just renting out, or sometimes they just have a extra flat, and they are renting that flat out to people who require a flat. Okay, so maybe a flat gives you about 15,000 rupees in rent, and maybe 5,000 goes for maintenance of the flat, just considering. So you're still making 10,000 rupees profit every month from that flat. Of course, when you're buying a real estate for rental purposes, you should also remember that you're putting in a lot of money as capital investments. Okay, that asset, that is an asset again, right? Again, it will grow at one point in time. So even if you're making 10,000 a month, maybe 10 years down the line, the value of that flat which you bought, say for 2 lakhs or 5 lakhs, will be around 20 lakhs to 50 lakhs. Okay, so you should also look at it in two ways. One is a flat could be a rental, or a shop could be a rental, or an office could be a rental. Okay, so there are different ways where you can get rental income. So you're basically making money on a monthly basis through rents. Okay, you're getting money through rents. So again, it works about mainly you have maintenance cost, you will have paperwork. You cannot give rent for long term without doing some legal paperwork and all. If you're doing it yearly for 11-month contract, then you have again legal paperwork to be done for that 11-month contract. Or you might lose the property with tenancy rights and stuff like that. So you need to be going through a proper legal channel. It all depends on the rent that you will get, will depend on the location where your asset is, and again, what are the different government regulations to it. Another option that we've spoken about bank stuff like that, is another thing is gold. Okay. uh, I wouldn't be recommending gold too much, because gold is something that is sentimental. Okay, in Indian context, it has grown very well because a lot of people were buying gold at one point in time. Now it has gone down per se. Okay, is it a risk in investing in real estate? Again, as I said, real estate is a very big market. Okay, um, risk would be basically where you're investing, whether it is clean paperwork, clean title is clear, the paperwork of that property is clear. It's not a risk. But if you don't have the money to invest in it, you're taking a risk, because you'll be taking a loan and you'll be paying interest on that loan. So that is a different concept that we need to speak about. But we can do this in a later session, maybe in the future. Okay. But these are the options that you have as investing options. Okay. And then, as I said, gold. If you don't want to take too much of risk, well, right now gold is about 40,000 rupees for 10 grams. Um, but if you don't want to take too much of a risk in gold, maybe you can look at gold mutual funds. Okay, so where you can start investing with about 500 rupees. Okay, you don't need to be buying 1 gram of gold, but you need to be buying a mutual fund which is investing in gold. And if the rate of gold is going high, the mutual fund value will go up. If the rate of mutual gold is coming low, the rate of the mutual fund will come low. But if you want to invest, as I said, I've given you the options. You have to make your research and decide which is the best thing for you. And why do I say for you? Is because you have different financial goals. If your financial goal says in 5 years I don't require to look at money at all, I can put all the savings or all the salary that I get into savings. Please do it. Please put 80% of your salary into investments and things like that, and save almost 80% of your income. I know of guys who are saying that they are staying with their parents. They don't have to pay for food, they don't have to pay for their petrol also. My dad fills up the car, he says. So he's saving his entire salary at the moment. So I'm just saying, you put your, it's up to you, your financial goals are up to you. Now, as I said, the guide, financial gyan, is free. I mean, I would say, don't put all your eggs in the same basket. Plan your financial goals. You need to know what is safe, what is not safe, what is your understanding of it all. And you need to plan your baskets based on your requirements. We can invest on gold digitally as well using MetaTrader 5. Perfect. I mean, there will be different options. Okay, but again, basically, it would come down to the same concept, whether the gold price will go up or the gold price will come down. Now, there are different ways of investing in gold, which I said you can go through, as you are suggesting, Trader 5, MetaTrader 5, where you invest in gold digitally. You might go through mutual funds where you can invest in gold ETFs. You might go into a gold jeweler and say, okay, chalo, I'm buying 10 grams of gold. Okay, I have 50,000, I'll buy 10 grams of gold. Or you can go to the bank today. Okay, today banks are selling gold. If you all don't know, you get 24 karat coins. Okay, from the bank, you get bars of gold from the coin from the bank, which are certified 24 carats. Okay, so there's nobody who will cheat you over. They give a certificate and stuff like that. The bank allows you to buy gold from the bank also. Okay, so there are different ways. As I said, these are different options that you can put your money in. Each option, I'm telling you, gives returns. It might not give great returns, but it gives returns. But you need to study it over a period of time and understand which are your options based on your financial goals. Okay, so we come to the next part, the guide. Now, I've read a lot about one particular uh, yeah, I think so. Father Ralin is recording the meeting. So Sejal, you can ask Father Ralin for the recording. Yeah. So there's one particular idea from the Japanese that we have seen. It's called the art of saving. It's called kakebo. Now, what is kakebo is very simple. It's not a very big concept. It's a very simple concept. It says you take a book and you write down where you spend your money. Okay. So kakebo translates to a household financial ledger. No technology, no this. It's just a notebook and a pen. But every time you spend or you decide to spend, you ask these questions. Can I live without this item? Okay. Can I afford this item? Like I might want to buy a car, but can I afford to buy a car? Okay. If I'm buying a car, will I actually use the item? Will I actually drive with the car? Like for example, there are lots of blogs, there are lots of videos that debate the idea of owning a car. To be honest enough, they debate the idea of owning a car, especially in a city like Mumbai. Okay, say you're in Mumbai and you decide to buy a car of say 10 lakhs. Okay, but where will you go from your place to the office? Okay, metros are awesome over in Mumbai. Okay, there are very nice railway systems over there. If you're maybe anti the crowd, okay, if you're not going towards Churchgate in the morning or you're going towards Andheri in the morning, you're perfectly fine to it, right? You might be well settled into going by train. So you have to ask this question: will I actually use this item? Okay, do I have space for this item? Sometimes people buy 5 cars and are parked on the main road. They are staying into one 2 BHK flat. But do I have space for this item, or is it just a fad that I'm doing? Okay, how did I think of buying this item? Okay, and how do I feel of buying this item? So these are the main questions that we need to ask. And why is this question important is the acts of mindful spending and savings are very much interlinked. Okay, because if you understand that yes, I need it, yes, I will do this, yes, I will do such things, then please go ahead and it will have a great effect on your bank account. Now, when I said this, okay, I'm not telling you to live a miserly life. What I'm saying is basically simple. I, for example, do a lot of my work on the phone. Okay, so I would never compromise with a 1100 or Nokia 1100 phone. Okay, I would buy the best phone that I can afford. Okay, why? Because my entire life is on the phone. Like I am into social media, I'm into digital marketing, I'm into a lot of other stuff that I have to work from the phone. If I not be able to do those things from the phone, then I would have to carry my entire desktop and roam around in the places that I roam around, right? So I have my entire life is depend on the phone. So I invest in a good phone. Maybe tomorrow I plan on buying one of the top end phones. I might spend 1 lakh on the phone. But that doesn't mean that I am putting in money because I have 1 lakh. I'm putting in money because I need 1 lakh over there. Okay, so understanding your needs, understanding your wants is very important into getting in. One of the formulas that I would suggest to young people is basically that leave an item for 24 hours. Like I know a lot of young people who cannot do without shopping on Amazon or Flipkart or Myntra, and the new craze today is Nika and all the other stuff. Why is it important that you leave the item for 24 hours in the cart? Why? Don't let the sales tempt you. Put it in the cart and keep it. If you put it in the cart, you will realize that yes, I need it, or yes, I don't need it. Okay. Once you have 24 hours to think over an item, you will decide whether you require it or you don't require it. The next thing you will do is basically check your bank balance regularly. Usually, I would recommend you have an app, or most of you all must be having smartphones today. Have your bank app on the phone and check your savings account balance every day. What does this do? It basically tells you or humbles you that you have only this much money in your account. So if you want to spend, you decide if you want to spend. If you don't want to spend, you decide if you don't want to spend. Okay, it humbles you. Like I might think of buying, Arey, chalo, I'll buy one new phone here. My bank balance is around 2000 rupees. But what will I do with that phone? I will say, Arey, chalo, I get EMI, no? You have an option of EMI on Amazon, 0% rate of interest. So you might think of going on EMI, but you realize that you're buying a 20,000 phone, you're going to pay 2000 rupees every month. Your current bank balance is 2000. What will you live on? So it humbles you. Okay, so you have to have access to your understanding. Change or remove environments that make you spend. I know of students from my college, Don Bosco College, Panjim. Okay, I know of students who are sitting in class on the second floor. They are ordering on Swiggy. When the Swiggy guy comes down, they go and pick it up from down. From which restaurant? The restaurant that is opposite Don Bosco, Gastronut. I'm like, are you serious? Okay, you're paying 20 rupees delivery for the restaurant, for the Swiggy delivery boy to come and deliver from Gastronut to here. And if you don't realize, the new Swiggy options over there make you pay tips of 30 rupees by default if you don't uncheck it. So in total, you have paid around 50 rupees to buy an item of 100 rupees, which could be done by you just coming down two floors, going, crossing the road, buying your item and coming back. Okay. So start thinking of environments that are making you spend, get rid of it. Okay. So you need to understand it. If you need it, you buy it. If you want it, you plan for it. Okay. You need to plan it. If, as I said, you understand your needs, you understand your want. If it is a want, plan for it and buy it. I'm not saying don't buy it. Say plan for it and buy it. Okay. So the usual formula that we go by is retirement, emergency, and everything else. 10 to 15% of your money should basically go into retirement planning. Okay. You need to know that at 60 you will stop working, and you need to stop working because all your life you should not be working. Okay. It's something that you need to understand. Emergencies are your 5 to 10 months ka salary that needs to go into savings. That is your emergencies. As I said, 5 to 10 months is the savings that you have, and the rest, everything else, put into investments. What is investments? You should have goal-based investments. Like suppose you are planning for marriage at the age of 25 or 30. Okay. You need to have minimum 10 lakhs at that point in time. That point in time, matlab, I'm saying add inflation to 10 lakhs. Every year, 8%, 8%, 8%. I've given you the formula. Add 8% every year and make the math of at the age of 35, what would be the money that you require for marriage. And for that, you start an SIP. SIP means what? Money will go automatically. Now, in mutual funds, there are two types of mutual funds in every fund. Okay, suppose there's a Digital India fund. There are two types. There's one is a regular, and the other one is a direct mutual fund. Now, why both are important is direct mutual funds, you don't pay any commissions. In regular, you're paying a commission to. If you're going through an agent or something, it goes through regular mostly. Okay, direct mutual funds you can only buy, maybe certain apps are giving, Grow gives, I think so, and Zerodha gives. But otherwise, you can go directly to the fund house and buy it directly from them. Okay, in Panjim, I think so, almost all mutual funds have their offices in Panjim. Okay, so you can go to the office and buy the mutual funds. Okay, so you can plan a lot of these stuff based on your goals. Another formula that plays around is the 50-30 rule. Okay, 50-30-20 rule. They say 20% you put into savings. Okay, 50% is what you spend on a daily basis, your essentials. Okay, 50, as I was telling you, if your salary is 40,000, save 20,000, you spend 20,000. Okay, from the 20,000 that I was saying you save, 20% goes into sorry, from your entire 100%, from your entire 20% of your salary would be roughly around 4,000 rupees. Yeah, 4,000 rupees. No, sorry, my math is bad. 20%. 10% is 2,000. 4,000. Yes, 4,000 rupees would go for your savings, and 30% would go for the other investments and discretions. Okay, so you have some wants, you want to buy a car, you want to buy a phone and stuff, that is from your 30% that would go out. But if you want to really aggressively do it, store it separately. Like 50% you save. Okay, 20% is what you spend on your daily essentials, and 30% you invest in very stable funds, very stable stocks. You can do all of that. Okay, you can very stable investments which will give you higher return, higher growth, higher things of return. Okay, probably they're providing in who are you referring to, Jason? Helping the economic growth. Maybe Jason, you could just elaborate on that. Okay, so finally comes the end. What am I talking about? The end is you need to plan your goals well. You need to plan, as I said, you need to have your financial goals set. You need to understand what are your financial expenses, how much do you spend on your expenses, whether you can cut any expenses in any part of your life. Okay, maybe you're eating out every day. I'm just giving an example. I know many students who go out every day. They are going out for lunch. Okay, they're spending in 100 rupees every day for lunch. Instead of that, maybe you can start a tiffin service. You'll get tiffins cheaper than your normal thali in the restaurant. Instead of going to a restaurant, buying Coke, buying this, buying everything, you cut down on your cost of outside eating. Maybe you get a tiffin in the morning. Get it from home, you're saving money. It's your home food that you're eating healthier and stuff like that. So you can plan your goals and plan your expenses also very well. Okay. You need to create designated accounts. Why do I say create designated accounts? Is because if you are getting a salary, try to keep your salary separate from your spending account. What do I do is simple. My salary account doesn't have a ATM card. Okay. It doesn't have Google Pay. It doesn't have ATM card, nothing involved in it. Okay. My salary comes, all my EMIs go from the salary account, all my RD, that is recurring deposits, go from my salary account, all my SIPs go from my salary account, and whatever land investments I have goes from my salary account. The other side of it is my ATM account. Okay, I have another bank, another account, ATM, Google Pay, everything is linked to it. What I do is once a month or twice, once a year, I'm sorry, once a month or twice, 2 months, once in 2 months, I transfer some money into my ATM account. I know how much money I have to spend. Okay, I don't spend more than that. I don't spend less than that, but it depends. I run my life through that. Okay, if I don't have money in that ATM account, then I transfer some money from there. This way you are not enticed to spend. Okay, like what happens is, if you don't have money in the ATM account, you don't say, "Arey, chalo, yaar, money is there, I'll just buy this on Amazon." Things are, you start thinking twice before you spend the money. That's what is important, and that's one of the reasons why I said mindset is important. You need to understand the mindset of setting up your goals for money. Okay, set transfer amounts that are not too intimidating. Why do I say this? Your salary is 20,000. Please don't start investing 10,000. Okay, you will not be able to survive on 10,000 in a month very lavishly. Okay, so you need to start maybe planning for say 5,000, 6,000 per month, and then maybe the 4,000 you keep it there. If you're not spending too much, you're saving enough, maybe put a lump sum in a mutual fund or make an FD of it. So over a period of 10 months, you collect about 40,000 rupees or 4,000 every month. Then you put a FD of 40,000 in the bank. Okay, so you have a very stable income, term income. Sorry, we said growth in investment, income investment, and term investment. So this is your term investment you're doing. Growth investment is that 6,000 which you're putting as SIPs or mutual fund investments, or maybe investing in stock markets and stuff like that. That is your investments, and you have the entire thing. So the most important thing is, after saving you start investing. Don't start investing early. Okay, so first you start saving and then you start investing. And finally, I have always lived through this life where my dad would always say, because he was in the bank, right? So he would always say that taking a loan is bad. It is a risk. And you actually pay up a lot. If you're taking a loan of 10 lakhs, you end up paying about 20 lakhs back when you're paying, say, a car loan or a house loan. If you don't believe me, check the interest rates that you're getting and check the amount that you're going to be paying out as interest to the bank. But also understanding that money at that point in time can make a lot of difference. Okay, so if I'm planning on investing, say, in a restaurant, I'm not a restaurant, or a shop. Okay, I'm planning on buying a shop, say, and I might not have that much of money. So taking a loan and making that purchase can help me grow. Okay, the asset value will grow. So it's a complicated stuff of understanding how the credit is good or bad, but don't get into traps. What do I mean by traps is, if you realize the US market, they are very, very used to spending on credit cards. Okay, don't fall for this trap of credit cards. Okay, many people might be offering you free credit cards, and if you open a bank account in this particular bank, I won't name the bank, but if you open an account in one particular bank or two particular banks, you get free credit cards. And the joy of it is, if you don't have money in your bank also, you can buy stuff because you can take credit, and the limit is there. If you're paying a higher taxation amount, you might get 1 lakh per month to spend and stuff like that. But don't fall into these traps of taking credit, because if you don't pay up on these credit cards, always remember you're paying about 12%, if I'm not mistaken, on a monthly basis, not yearly basis. Usually the rate of interest for loan and all is yearly basis, 12% per annum. Here you're paying on a monthly basis 12%. Okay, so every month that you delay paying, you are paying 12% on that credit. So if you've taken 1 lakh, you're paying 1,12,000 next month. Okay, at the same time, it is also good if you have a credit card. I'm playing the devil's advocate here, because if you know how to use credit, you can do a lot of stuff. For example, if I can buy an item, okay, say I am a dealer who buys hand sanitizers. I buy hand sanitizers and I sell it in the market. Okay. Now to buy 100 sanitizers, I might not have money. What I'll do is I'll go with a credit card. I'll buy 100 sanitizers. I'll pay by credit card. I don't have money. I paid it over there. I've gone to the market and I've sold this at a profit of 50 rupees per sanitizer. Okay. What would this do? I would have a profit at the end of say 10-15 days. I go back to the bank and I repay the credit card amount. Okay. The credit card gives me easy access to money, which is for a period of around 30 to 45 days. So this is a good use of credit cards or the good use of credits. Okay. So you need to understand that credit also is not bad, but you should not fall into traps. Okay. So that is the best part of credit cards. And finally, price is what you pay, value is what you get. Okay, price is, as I said, 100 rupees car sanitizer you might buy, but if this sanitizer is filled with water and you're not getting any protection, your value is zero. You might have paid 100 rupees for this, but if you have paid 100 rupees for this sanitizer and you have 100% protection, your life is more important, right? So you're saving your life because of paying 100 rupees of your sanitizer. So price is what you pay, value is what you get. With this, I come to an end of my session. I'm always there here to help. I have a business WhatsApp number called 9975650907. I'm available on Instagram, Facebook as official Gilbert Mendes. I've actually just started my YouTube channel, and I'm lucky to get my 100 subscribers to get my official Gilbert Mendes name. And I will be trying to put up videos and stuff like that in the future, but I said I'll start off with sessions under my money seed project for the young and help whoever wants to plan their personal finance. Yeah. So with this, I throw the floor open. I think we've extended from 1 to 110. So digital marketing, I can do a session on digital marketing, but I'm not really the best expert to be doing digital marketing because but I can do a session on digital marketing. I've done sessions on digital marketing actually. Yeah. So if you all want me, I can do it. I've actually prepared a 1 second. I've actually prepared a feedback form, and if you all could fill that feedback form, it would be very nice for me to get a feedback of how the session went. So if you can give me your feedback, it will be very nice and thankful to you all. I'll put the feedback form link in the chat, and you can send me your feedback on this feedback form. So Father Jason, Father Ralin, can take over. I hope you all have all liked. If you all have any questions, please ask me. I'm open to answering questions and stuff. Clyde, I can't hear you clearly.
Clyde?
Yeah, do we have any questions for Gilbert?
Yes.
Yeah, Kirsten?
Kirsten, yeah.
So I have a question here regarding the stock markets. Other than the pharmaceutical industry and the food industry, which is the industry during this pandemic that is having great success right now?
You're talking about the shares that I would suggest. As I said, I would not be suggesting any shares at this point in time. But yes, the pharmaceutical industry has gained a lot because of the COVID pandemic. I think I've seen growth in Sun Pharma. I've seen growth in Cipla. So these are these pharmaceutical companies that have grown quite a lot because of the pandemic. But it's normal. I mean, see, you don't need to do. At the same time, I would say I've seen higher growth in the IT industry. Okay, because if you realize all the industries shut down from the first lockdown, but only the IT industries are all working from home, all of them. Okay, this form can only be used by. Okay, sorry. I'll just change that 1 second. Sorry. Settings. Yeah, I've changed that. I've changed that setting. Sorry for. Yeah, allowed. Yeah, so basically the IT industry has taken a huge growth. Okay, like for example, I have invested myself. Okay, in mutual funds, in a mutual fund called Aditya Birla Digital Fund. And over the last 2 years, I've seen like a huge growth, about 80%, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I think it's 80%. Yeah, about 80% growth I've seen in just last 2 years. At the same time, pharma industry, I've also invested in a fund called Nippon India Pharma Fund, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Nippon India Pharma Fund, which I've seen a growth about 30%. And mainly that's last 1 year. Okay, so the IT industry has grown exponentially because none of them have been affected much. Most of them have been operating. What they've been affected is if they have been working with industries that have been affected. So if their projects are with industries like hotels, their projects are with industries like the tourism industry. Like I've seen IT companies who have been really taking a hit in the COVID pandemic because they've been servicing industries like the tourism industry or the hotel industry. So these are the IT industries that have taken a hit. If they are working with governments, if they are working with pharmaceutical companies, like many IT companies are giving pharmaceutical companies backing, so they have made a huge money out of it. Yeah. Any other
Yes, thank
questions?
you.
Yeah, investing in IPOs is a very nice option, but you need to be very careful about which IPO you invest in. Like, for example, I think so. There was one IPO, Nerula, if I'm not mistaken. That particular fund was for 41 rupees. Sorry, that particular share was 41 rupees. Those who got the share, IPO also is a very tricky market where you invest in IPOs and you don't get the shares. Like it's a buying a lottery. And you get your money back, no doubt, but you will get the allotment of the share only if you are lucky in IPOs. But if you invest in IPOs which are good, like now I think so, if I'm not mistaken, Zomato is coming up with an IPO. I think so. Paytm is coming up with an IPO. So these are good companies that are coming up. Mutual funds have risk. Okay, every mutual fund has a risk. Let's be honest about it. Like I have been investing in some mutual funds which have been showing me minus returns, but over a period of 3 years, 5 years, I've not seen any of the mutual funds be in reds. Okay, they've always been in green. It's just that uh, I would be expecting 12% returns of interest. They might be giving me 7% return of interest year on year. Okay, so there'll be a growth, but there'll be a different growth. So some funds, that's why I said, don't put all your money in one fund. You need to spread the risk. And how do you spread the risk? You invest in top 10, top 100 funds or top 50 funds. Top 50 means not the ranking of the fund, but basically the fund invests in the top 50 companies. Or you invest in the sector. Sector means you invest in the pharma fund or you invest in the IT fund, things like that. Main thing that you need to understand in mutual funds is it is being managed by very professional guys. So not always will you lose money. Keep you will have up and downs, but if you look at a long term of 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, you will surely see gains. That is a guaranteed. That's also in stock markets if you're investing in very reliable funds or reliable companies. Like for example, Reliance has grown from about 800, 700 rupees last 3 years to now I think 2,300, something like that. Reliance Industries or HDFC Bank also has grown from exponentially. I mean, they've all been growing at a very nice rate over the last 5 to 10 years. So that way, if you're investing in very stable companies, you will see growth over 3 to 5 years for sure. Don't look at it at today you invest, tomorrow you become a millionaire. No, it won't happen. Okay, it's a progress, it's a struggle, and you need to be disciplined for the last 3 5 years. If you see that you are getting great returns and you take out all your money, you will not see more returns in the future. So it has to be a growth which is planned for the next 3 to 5 years. Yeah.
So what does blue chip mean? It's a term
Blue chip
in a
is usually
mutual
IT
fund.
stocks. Yeah, blue chips are usually IT stocks. Uh, Most of them are IT stocks, high performing stocks. These are the blue chips of the mutual fund industry. Um, if you see, you go to any of these, go on Google, just type the fund name out. you'll get something called as portfolio in each of these funds. And when you read the portfolio, you will see in which companies they have invested. So based on that, you can make your decisions. Yeah. Any other question?
I think that was a really wonderful and amazing session with you. And I'm pretty sure everyone is looking forward for some more
Clyde,
sessions.
Clyde.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
Hello,
Somebody.
can you hear me?
Agnello.
Yeah, Nelo, maybe you can put it in the chat.
Okay, sir. I'll just put in the chat.
If you can put it in the chat, we can. What is your opinion? Swing trading. Swing trading, if I'm not mistaken, I myself, as I said, I'm not very expert in financial this, but if I'm not mistaken, swing trading is when you're catching up for mid-term gains and short-term gains. But it is a good option if you know your markets well. So why I have not suggested it directly as a beginner to start with swing trading and stuff like that, because lots of people want to do day trading. Okay, day trading means you put in money in the morning, by evening you make profit and you get out of the market. But it is a risky proposition, especially if you're doing it without researching. Okay, like for example, I had got the news that privatization of IOB will be happening, and that's one of the reasons why uh, I've been averaging out my shares for a while. Like it's almost now, the talks of privatization has been in the market for almost 1 year. But when it will happen, nobody knew. So I was averaging my prices. So I brought my shares down from 140 to about 20 rupees, if I'm not mistaken now. But I've been buying shares at the rate of 12 rupees, 15 rupees, 18 rupees, and made it now at 20 rupees. And today, the share market has given me that lift, and it is about 27 rupees, I think so, if I'm not mistaken. Yesterday it was 26 or 27 rupees. So I made about 7 rupees profit per share. But I have huge number of shares now because I have been buying it out over a period of 1 year to make the share price come down for my average share price. So these things would not happen. And now, if I knew that, I have also advised a few of my friends to get into the market at that particular point, and they have made phenomenal returns in the last 1 week. So that is also there. So you might be lucky if you know your markets well, but that is because I've actually studied that share and I know why it is going up and why it is coming down. Okay, and most of the shares in the share market, if they're stable funds, they will be going up for a reason, they will be coming down for a reason. Like for example, L&T, the moment they started picking up a lot of construction orders, like even the Atal Setu, or the moment they completed Atal Setu when it was inaugurated, their shares went up. When they got some orders in the northeast, they are building some highway and stuff like that, their shares went up. I think so. They've got some recent order. I forgot which what order they got, but they had got some recent huge order from the government of India. Their shares went up. Okay, so if you have researched a particular share and then you know that you can invest in it, that's why if you're from commerce background and all, you also start reading annual reports. In annual reports, you understand the company's future. In annual reports, you understand where the company will be investing and stuff. Based on that, you make your decision. So it's not a risk, it's not a gamble that you're taking. It's basically a calculated risk that you know that this company will be doing X, Y, Z. Then you invest in it, and then you see the returns, and then you take your money out. So that is what I would advise you in swing trading. Any other questions, please?
Well, I think so. I would like to cut short today's session. If I'm sorry about that.
Clyde, Clyde, one last.
You have a last question. Okay, fine.
Yeah. He was asking this question. Yeah, I'm collecting funds through my salary, but that's not enough. You can suggest any side hustle to make money working for 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Agnello, don't stress yourself. Okay, let's not stress yourself. Look at what things you're good at. Okay, so side hustles are basically things that you are good at. You might be good at designing. You might be good at playing an instrument. You might be good at something like that. Okay, So if your goal is to buy a laptop of 80,000 and you are having a salary, so you've not mentioned how much your salary is, okay? Based on that, maybe you can take a call. If you can chat with me on 9975650907, I can maybe guide you into some ideas. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, 12,000. Then it's a good enough amount to start saving for 80,000. You see, you have to look at it in terms of how much have you saved before and how much will you save in the future. And based on that, you can easily take access to a lot of stuff. And if that laptop can make you money, then please invest into an 80,000 laptop. I can give you ideas. We can chat and we can go ahead with that. Let's not waste everyone's time. Yeah. Yes, Clyde. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm absolutely sorry, I know, because when we talk about money, there will be a lot of questions, especially, sir, the way you have been explaining. All these people will have a lot of questions, and I would like to thank you for your time and for also assuring you your presence in future whenever they require it. So just to sum up, I would like to quote one of the quotes that you have shared in your sharing is that we have to do a very few things right in our life, so long as you don't do too many things wrong. And I feel that one of the good things that we have all done right is making time to be part of this enriching and amazing session with you, with our own very Gilbert, to broaden our minds and find the ways and the art not only to make money but also to keep it and to see it grow. So on the behalf of Don Bosco Youth Services, I take this opportunity to extend our gratitude to you with 20% interest and for sharing your time and guidance for the future sessions as well. So thank you very much, Gilbert, for investing your valuable time with us. And we pray that God bless you always. A big thank you to each one of you for gathering here. And I'm sure that we have gained a lot of insights, information, and clarity to a great extent. No doubt there will be many unanswered questions. We assure you for more future sessions as well. And we pray and hope that we assure Gilbert for a high rate of investment of his time. So thank you one and all, and God bless you. So let us end with a short prayer. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Mary, help of Christians, pray for us. Just a quick request, if you guys could just turn on your cams, we'll take a quick picture for our records.
Noah is combing his hair.
Okay.
Who's clicking the picture?
Yeah, I'll take it. If there is anyone else also, they can do it. Okay, so we go 3, 2, 1, say cheese.
Cheese.
All right. Thank you everybody. You can note down your unanswered questions. We will have Gilbert in the future for more sessions, and I'm pretty sure about that. Thank you one and all. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Gilbert. Thank you.
Thank you, Gilbert.
Thank you,
Clyde. Good job.
Thanks, Father Ralin. Thank you.
Thank you, Father.